Hey, it's Samantha with Majestic Unicorn Tutoring, and welcome back to another Math Tip Monday video. In this video, we're going to talk about the order of operations, or PEMDAS. I'm sure you've heard that fun little expression, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, bringing up some old memories. Well, let's talk about the order in which we solve problems. P standing for please in the acronym, or parentheses. E for excuse or exponents. And then we can do multiplication or division, which is that my or dear. And then you have the choice of addition and subtraction. So the two orders of operations that your students or children are the least likely to know are probably going to be parentheses or exponents. So let's dive into what parentheses and exponents are, and just be sure that you're explicitly teaching those things before you launch into solving full problems using the PEMDAS order of operations setup here. So parentheses are used most frequently with distributive property, which is huge when it comes to algebra, and they can also be used as multiplication itself. If I was going to use this as distributive property, I would have a number on the outside, like 2, times the quantity of, let's say, 1 minus 3. So in order to solve something like this, I'm going to distribute through. So I've got 2 times 1, which is 2, minus 2 times 3, which is 6. And then I can just do the subtraction problem, which ends up being a -4. If you want me to go through positive and negative integers, I'd love to go through those as well. I know that's another point where kiddos tend to trip things up at the beginning of algebra. Just so you know, distributive property is only going to work when we have this addition or subtraction sign here in the parentheses. Let's go through what distributive property might look like in the case of a variable in the problem. Same exact process here. I'm going to do the 2 times the 5, which is 10, and the 2 times the 3a, which is just 6a. And this is as small as I can make this expression right here. I can't bring it down any lower because I can't add these non-like terms. Let's jump into the other vocabulary word that may be tricky for your students or children, which is exponents. Exponents are these fun little numbers above the variable or number that's being given. The two most common exponents you tend to see are this 2 above here, which stands for squared, and then 3 above, which is cubed. And all this means is to literally multiply this together by that many times. For example, x squared is really x times x, and x cubed is really x times x times x. So if we put this all together in an expression, we might have something like this. We might have 2 squared plus 3. So what I'd first have to do is solve my exponents, because going back to our lovely PEMDAS here, exponents does come before addition. So I have 2 times 2, which is what this one is down here, plus a 3. I have to do my multiplication first, so this becomes 4 plus 3, which we know is 7. So that is how we're working that system there. Now, you can have another number besides 2 and 3 up there. You can have 172 up there. All of these things are just called exponents, and if I did have 172, I would have to multiply 2 by itself, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, all the way to 172 2s to get that answer. Now that we have some vocabulary established for the PEMDAS order of operations little acronym here, let's jump into how we would apply this when solving bigger expressions. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this problem. I tend to start students out without any exponents or parentheses when I'm just teaching them order of operations, because I really want to nail down multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. And remember, you can change it up. You can do multiplication before division or division before multiplication, but you cannot do addition or subtraction before you finish up your multiplication or division. So if you want to pause this video, solve this expression here and get your answer, that's great. If not, follow along with me. So using my PEMDAS strategy here, I need to make sure that I do my multiplication part of this first. So I've got 3 times 7, which is 21. and then I can just bring down all the rest. Now, again, it doesn't matter whether I'm doing addition before subtraction or subtraction before addition. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my addition first because I'm just, you know, as a person, I like to go left to right because that's how we read here in America. So 21 plus 2 would be 23. Minus a 4 is going to be 19. So the final answer is 19. Now we can start adding in our exponents in our parentheses. Okay, so I've changed this original problem up a little bit to include exponents, and we can see here that we have to do our exponents before we can get into anything else. So let's go ahead and solve for our exponents now. I've got 2 squared, which is really 2 times 2, which is really 4. So then we can bring everything else down here. And then exactly what we did before, where we have to solve our multiplication first, which 7 times 3 is still 21, plus 4 minus 4. Okay, I'm just going to do the 4 minus 4 situation here. Cross that off, that's 0, and we're left with 21 now. All right, let's add in addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, parentheses. Let's do it all up. All right, we're adding it all in together, making this problem just a little bit more complex. So I've got to start off with my parentheses and then move on to my exponents. The first thing I need to do is I need to solve anything that's left over inside that parentheses. So that's going to be the 2 times 2, which we talked about is 4 already. So now I've got this. Okay, now I can distribute my 5 to both of these 4s. So we still got the 7 times 3. Now we're going to have plus 20 minus 20. Do our multiplication first before our addition and subtraction, and we get 21 plus 20 minus 20. Same like in the last one, these just cancel out, and our answer is 21. Now what I'd love for you to do if you're following along at home and you'd like to look into seeing if this is sinking in for you, go ahead and I'm going to show problems up on the board, pause the video, work them out yourself, and then press play and we'll check to see if you got the answers right. All right, so our new problem is 4 times the expression 8 plus 2 times 4 cubed plus 22. So go ahead and pause the video, see if you can solve the problem on your own, and then we will jump into solving it together. All right, welcome back. So the first thing that we have to do is the parentheses. So let's go ahead and take care of this. So 4 times 8 is 32, plus the 4 times the 2, which is 8, times 4 cubed plus 22. All right, the next thing I need to do is my exponents. Moving right along, we've still got 32 plus 8. Whoop, got to take care of my exponents here. Well, 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. And then I'm going to add my 22 here. Moving right along, I've got to do any multiplication or division in the problem. So let's get this multiplication problem out. So I've got 64 times 8. I'm going to have to write that one down. So 4 times 8 is 32. 6 times 8 is 48 plus the 3, which would be 51. And we've got 512. If you're anything like me, you like your addition to go up and down instead of side to side. So I'm just going to rewrite these, and it's addition. I can rewrite them in any order I want, whatever's most convenient. So let me just write this going like this, plus 32 plus 22. All right, I've got 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 6. I've got 1 plus 3 plus 2, which is 6. And then I've got 5. So altogether, the answer is 566. Take a look at what you got on your paper and then what we've got together. Which part of the process was difficult for you? How are you doing with adding, regrouping, multiplying numbers together? What does that look like for you? If you have questions on any of those things, leave a comment down below, and I would definitely love to make a video to help you out with that. The last problem today, go ahead and pause the video, see if you can solve it for yourself. And let's begin. So the first thing we need to do is solve everything inside the parentheses, because that is the P in the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, the parentheses. So we're going into the parentheses, and order of operations applies here as well. So the first thing I would do inside the parentheses then is that exponent. So that would be 5 times 5, which is 25. So I have 3 times 25 divided by 15. And I'm just gonna go ahead and move right along and solve this here. Again, same thing, we need to solve the exponent, so it's 5 minus 4. That's taken care of, we know that's gonna be 1. So I've got 3 times 25. 3 times 25 is 75 divided by 15. 75 divided by 15 is, I can bring that minus 1 down, and then it is 4. So if you got 4, give yourself a pat on the back. That was a lot of moving pieces going on in that problem. Hopefully you figured that out. And if you need additional clarity, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I would love to help you out with any questions you might have. That's all for Math Tip Monday today. If you love these tips and want to see more, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We at Majestic Unicorn would love to help you with any other questions you have about math, so leave comments below for that. You can even leave us comments about science or math or reading or writing or language. We love it all. There's someone in this group that loves doing each of these different components. Remember, getting help is way easier than you think. For questions about our tutoring services, you can email us at info@majesticunicorntutoring.com. Your first session is always free. The prices for each session are in the description box below. See you next time. Bye!